Welcome back to another episode of Marvin Herbert's Nothing But the Truth. We cover a wide range of subjects, but none like today. So today we've got an exceptional conversation, I believe, about the current affairs and the freedom aspect of life that we're living at the moment. We've got three young men from three different walks of life within the beautiful, vibrant city of Liverpool to voice and share their words of intelligence. We've got Dean, Mark and Mark, and rather than go into the pronunciations of people's second name, I'll let them introduce themselves. So,
I'm Mark Cummings.
Mark Cummings, from our lovely city of Liverpool. What part of Liverpool are you from?
Posh Park, Kirby.
Kirby. And do you know what? I was born in Kirby.
Yeah.
Well, Fazatli.
Yeah, I was born in Fazatli.
Fazatli, born and bred. Fazatli, born and bred.
You know
Yourself?
that.
Yeah, Mark Cowell. I was a bit posher than you though, weren't I? I'm from down by Crosby, a little village called Hightown, but
I visited Crosby not too long ago.
Yeah.
Absolutely splendid place.
but I'm actually living by where you were initially from.
Okay, lovely.
Next door to Fazatli, I'm in Walton at the minute.
My brother lives in Walton.
Yeah.
Downgraded then.
Two different worlds, but you know, it's still
Different world,
vibrant.
same city.
All good people, mate, yeah.
Good people. Plenty of positivity.
Yeah, you got to take that positivity with you, haven't you? Got to create that, mate.
Come on. And there was none other than
Dean Garner, yeah, I'm from Sunny Speak.
Sonny Speak.
Sonny
Our
Speak,
family
yeah.
Speak as it happens.
Yeah.
Got cousins over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's alright to be.
Often frequent Speak Airport back in the day on my journeys.
That
was in forwards.
Yeah.
So, for my viewers, what is it you do for a living? What is it you do as a occupation? What is it you do as a hobby?
Yeah, I'll start. So, my little passion is mixed martial arts. So, I've been a professional fighter for a few years, got my own gym, and I've run some different education programs and stuff, community sport. Just trying to get MMA out to the masses really and make it a bit more sort of, what's the word, mainstream.
How are you getting on with that?
Amazingly, to be honest, mate, yeah, got some amazing young fighters coming through the gym, pioneered some amazing programs that are first of the kind globally, in terms of like, you know, students being able to do a 6-1 program in MMA, picking up coaching qualifications, getting coaching experience, some of them going off to uni, some of them becoming full-time.
You got outcomes for all that stuff already,
got
yeah?
all pathways for them.
Sick.
Been running it for 5 years already.
Well done.
We had like 23 finished this year. So, yeah, it's good, it's unique, and then we're out in schools delivering self-defence for primary kids for the system we've created that's age
Might be
appropriate.
meeting you soon, son.
You know me.
You're going nationwide, yeah?
We're open to with it.
Yeah, no, but so this is what I do. I'll go nationwide with everything because it's about helping so many young men and women that have the same like mind that I have as a youngster. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
we can help with the platform to engage with viable opportunities for these kids to get involved in a positive way. Then why not?
I
Do you know
think
what
MMA, there's probably no better vehicle to engage young people, especially hard to reach in the sort of areas we're talking about. What a little carrot on a stick MMA is to then bring them into an environment with better role models,
Yeah, come on,
some
all that.
structure, some discipline, and it shows them guys who maybe they might have been looking up to the local drug dealer. They come in the gym, they're looking up to the lads in the gym, and obviously they live a professional lifestyle.
Commonwealth world
Exactly,
champion.
that's
all
what it's
that kind of
about.
stuff. So it's a much better buzz.
But yeah, anyway.
And yourself?
Yeah, I've had a good upbringing, you know. I was brought up by, you know, good parents in a stable family, both good role models, brought up in a nice area, left school, went into the trades, put myself in education, become a time-served bricklayer, left the bricklaying trade when the recession hit in 2008, fell back into another trade, re-educated, went into welding, done welding for 10 years. After my welding career, upgraded again, then went into offshore, done subsea nuclear weld inspection, worked over in Norway.
Never imagined that thinking, looking at you, I was looking at it thinking, what the fuck?
Yeah, so over the years, but I've always had a trade and a passion to work, but at the same time, I've always been involved in crime from the age of 15, in and out of multiple different environments, you know, growing right the way up through the UK, through other countries, you know, I was fed by materialistic stuff. Used to chase money, used to look at people and used to look up to people who had the nice watches, have the nice cars, have the big houses, have the reputations, that sort of thing. That used to impress me.
Yeah,
And that used to be the direction that I used to chase. I had 6 kids by the time I was 26. I was a father of 6. I had my first child at 15. So for growing up from a young age as a teenager, for me, money was always an issue. And
was your hands-on dad as a kid?
no, I wasn't I was always around and I was with the mother, but I was an irresponsible father.
Yeah,
I wasn't a role model by any means. You know, I was out partying, I was out selling drugs. I used to put money before the family, before my kids, before my priorities. So for me growing up, life was chaos for years and years. I got to the age of 26. I had 3 boys, 3 girls by this time. And I was still involved in bits of crime, but still at the same time trying to hold together some form of responsibility, having a working lifestyle as well. There was times where I totally left the working lifestyle and just solely focused on drugs and hung around in that environment. But then coming towards the end of 2019, moving into 2020, I suffered from serious mental health issues, stress, depression, anxiety, PTSD. I suffered from PTSD from a boating accident that I was in Leeds. I was in a boat that capsized, and you know, the gentleman that I was with on the boat, he died, he drowned, and I managed to get out, but I used to get severe flashbacks. It used to affect me for quite a while. So I went through the counselling. At this stage in my life, I was trying to step away from the drugs. I was trying to stop using drugs. I was trying to stop selling drugs. I was trying to isolate myself to sort of get my mental health state back to where it needed to be, which is what led me to what I'm doing now, which is mental health events within the community and trying to show the younger generation a different way of life. So now I'm focusing on events within the city of Liverpool, and for me it's about bringing people together, raising the vibration, creating good times, letting people know that they don't have to suffer on their own. You know, it's okay to be struggling and it's okay to have made mistakes, but you know, if you can recognise that you've made a mistake in life and you're willing to step up and fix yourself and reach out and help, there's people like myself and many other people in the city, and like yourself, what you're doing.
That's what it's all about, the same thing.
And growing up, I never had people like us. There was never people like us who were speaking out as much as they are now, who were willing to help people. So now it's a really big part of my life.
It is my life, that is it now.
I've dipped back into construction purely for financial reasons, to keep myself ticking over. So I fell back onto my trade, what I actually gained as a teenager, and I'm building extensions as well as doing the events that I do and the community work that I do. But my intention this year is to go full time into the events and just give everything that I've got back to the city and back to the youngsters.
Nice.
That's my focus. That's my goal. That's my mission.
And Mark?
Yeah, I'm Mark, and I'm a builder, Marvin. But Flash. Yeah, I'm just a father, a brother, you know, a son. I'm just a general good guy, do you know what I mean? I've dipped my toe in a little few things, I've been a bit nasty here and there, but apart from that, I'm alright, I'm a good guy, you know what I mean? I'm really here to send positivity and give a message back to the people, because they need it. That's why we're here. Back to you, Marv.
Back to you, bro.
Yeah. So that's the guest introduced. So without further ado, we'll drive straight in. And how the bloody hell did we get here as a society is the question, right?
One question.
So how did we get here? Like, and I mean that by this so-called freedom, this so-called freedom of speech, this so-called unilateral harmony, right? I don't understand where it's at. I don't understand what they mean, and I don't understand the definition of freedom anymore, to be fair. So,
Is there any freedom?
Have we ever been
no,
free?
no, mate, and this is ironic, right? A year ago, I've never felt more free in my whole entire life, right? Like, I was actually recording my documentary. I walked in my house just over a year ago, and there was a letter on the floor, right? And because it was addressed to me, every time I see a letter addressed to me, it makes me smile. Yeah, so I've seen the letter. So the geezer was recording said, something nice. I said, okay, nah, it's just a bit of mail. So what are you so happy about? I say, you know what? I've never lived anywhere. I've never had anything sent to me. Do you know what I mean? And now it's my normal. It's nice when I come home and someone send me a bit of mail. All right, it's from the bank, but it's to Marvin Herbert. I'll drive my car, I'll get stopped by the police and I say, it's Marvin Herbert. It's my car. That really made me feel good, right? Because I felt free. I didn't have to worry about my door getting booted off.
Because you're legit.
Right, I'm legit.
It's a nice
You're
feeling,
legit.
isn't it?
Right, and then I set up a couple of companies. Right, I was helping the kids in the schools, the colleges, the prisons. I set up a recording studio, a record label, and we were flying. Right, doing basically what you're doing with sport, football, boxing, music, media. Right, so I've done it all. Right, set it all up. And what happened? COVID. I'm not even joking, right? Nah, right. If you really rewind time for 6 years, yeah, and this would have hit, I would have been fuming. Now I'm fuming and I'm upset with the human rights aspect of what we're going through, right? But I might be out of order saying it to some of the viewers and that, yeah. But being legit, yeah, saved me. It literally saved me in COVID. Now, I mean that from one perspective. I'll clear it right before we move on. It saved me because I didn't have to risk my liberty to go and get a pound note, right? I just borrowed a bit of money off the bank. It took them a year and a half to evict me from a building, and then I had to pay a 250 grand bill, yeah? So I just changed the name of my company and liquidated it, and there's no more bill. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've started again, and then they borrowed me 70 grand to start again. And I put it into the company and I started grafting again. Do you understand? So, although it ruined society on a whole with the madness, it sort of helped me survive through the madness. Because I was legit, I could rely on the banking structure because of the money I turned over in my bank and my companies. I was allowed to get a little loan. Oh, I've got to pay it back, but if I can't, I'll just say, I'm sorry, that company's been liquidated. Sorry.
Again?
But what I'm saying is, again and again and again, because this is what's in place for them people. We don't have to, like, you owe people money, you don't have to be killed for money you owe. You write it off. Every bank, right? Every bank on the planet have got a write-off. Every insurance company have got a write-off. They've got write-offs, mate. They write so much off.
Because we've got a fictional money system.
Come on, this is what I'm saying to you. So, the COVID, in a way, has helped me survive the madness because of the madness. But what I'm watching people succumb to and what I'm witnessing people accept infuriates me beyond belief.
It's like,
Yeah.
Right? And it really does. Now, I'm exempt from wearing masks.
Same.
Right?
Shame.
what do you think the needles are doing to people? What do you think the outcome's going to be, Marvin?
But personally, I just believe that it's just a 21st century of sort of data tracking and storage, right? So,
You never said that before.
say that again?
You never said that before.
I never said what before?
It's data tracking and storage.
No, but that's the whole principle behind it, right? But the depopulation of the planet,
Yeah,
is
that's
something that has to happen anyway.
That's what you...
Well,
Does it have to happen?
Yeah, it does. Because
Do you think it has to
no,
happen?
let me finish.
Oh,
Let me
no.
finish. Right, before you attack me, right?
I'm not attacking
on
you.
my land, right? No. There's a reason why I say that, right? The reason why I say that is because if you look at the economic system, right, that the planet has naturally, for everything, every creature to coexist, right? It's beautiful, and it works effortlessly, perfect, without question. But because of farming, and because of pesticides, and because of drilling, fracking and all sorts of shit, yeah, our wildlife can't live. It's not sustainable. So our ecosystem is dying because so many people, yeah, are eating all the wrong shit. That's what's happening, and it fucking infuriates me, right? And if everybody went on the plant-based diet, we'd all be able to live off the planet harmoniously forever without any drama. But because everybody wants a steak and a bit of leg of lamb and a bit of red wine, a bit of this is society.
So do you think that the needle's going to depopulate eventually?
No, the needle's creating a system within the human body which accelerates illnesses, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And that's just because it's even the universe and the ozone.
So it's slowly killing them, you think?
Say that again?
You think
We're slowly dying anyway.
we all die.
Right. So what they're doing is, because so many of us are eating so much shit and wanting so much shit, too many nice things are dying. So they have to say, oh, what are we going to do with this? What are we going to do with this? What are we going to do with it? How are we going to deal with this? I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's just iron out them ones, because them ones are not important, and them ones, because they're not that severe. And I get rid of a few of them ones as well. And that's all that's happening. It's a depopulation because we didn't want to go there, but you pressed, right?
Straight away.
I've built a platform up there with over 18,000 people mainly from Liverpool, and you know, I'll put 3 events up on there, and we're gonna go and do some yoga in the park on Saturday, or I'll get with one of my mates and we'll go and paint it. We'll go and pull some weeds out of the canal, pick litter up, paint the railings. You know, we'll go down the beach, we'll clean the beach up.
Was that the night we were supposed to go the other night, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
but just
That was the night I was supposed to get you out, Steve.
Come and do, we go
I
and watch
said
the
we were going to do
sunset.
some spiritual stuff the other night.
Can I just say sorry to the Masoon family, the son died down the beach the other day.
Yeah, there was a fatality there last
There
night.
was a lot of people trying to help, and was, you know, we're sorry for your loss.
Yeah, condolences, yeah, definitely, yeah. Big family from Liverpool, yeah, 3 of them got stuck in the waters last night, so we cancelled the event.
One of them is dying, one's in critical.
And tomorrow we're doing the same event, what we plan to do, but we're dedicating the whole event to the family and, you know, sending loads
Where
of
are
love
you
to
doing
them.
that, down the beach again tomorrow?
Yeah, we'll be down at Crosby Beach tomorrow doing that, but, you know...
Come down, man.
I'll come and cover that.
Good.
But yeah, it's all about positivity, mate. So like, I was saying, I was stuck in that aggressive, frustrated. I become depressed through it all. I didn't want to speak to people in society because I knew how far gone society was, and I couldn't accept that. I was like, oh, people just aren't seeing what I'm seeing. Obviously, the likes of us do, but I felt like I was on my own in a way.
So
But
what is it you're doing now?
bringing the community together.
In what ways? So for other people who are watching, so obviously you've got social links, things that people look at, where people can contact you and get hold of you or get involved.
Yeah, on the Instagram platform, all my work goes on Instagram.
What is your Instagram platform?
I've got 2. I've got On a Mission MC, and I've got...
On a Mission MC. Remember that, yeah? At On a Mission MC.
That one's shadow banned at the minute, but I've got Awaken Souls events as well, which is a non-alcoholic events brand which is focused on healing, meditation and consciousness.
Excellent.
So that's what I do. I bring people together, meditate, breath work, raise the consciousness, get connected to nature, go for walks, go through the woods, go through the parks, cold water swimming, cold water therapy, all positive, good stuff. And we get the kids involved, we get the parents involved, nans and granddads, and everyone. The door's open for anyone, do you know what I mean?
Spiritual as well,
sick. Look forward to that.
So it's good stuff.
Raise your vibration of it.
And work-wise, what are you offering at the moment, services-wise, for the communities? And we're looking to go nationwide as well, so my Marvin Herbert Limited is going across the country, and I'm strategically aligning with any organisation that wants to go nationwide. I want to be developing training processes for programs that individuals have. I've got the recruitment policies and principles to go anywhere to recruit within schools, colleges and prisons. So I'm looking to strategically align under the Marvin Herbert Limited to get around the world and change the narrative that crime doesn't pay.
Crime doesn't pay,
No.
but it's down to us to make the change, to make the
Patient
young
and
ones
pain.
realise.
Pardon?
Patient and pain.
Plenty of pain.
Oh, plenty.
Plenty of pain. And that's the madness about it.
You don't see the pain.
No, you
Did
do,
see that when
you do, but you've got
it's
to
on
create
to the-
pain to deal with it, though. You
Yeah.
do, but this is the thing, right? You've got to be accountable. So, but you create pain, but you're like, fucking, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll fucking ruin that cunt. And I'll tell you what, I'll do that cunt and that cunt again. Do you understand? So you're always creating more trauma to deal with trauma because we're not strong enough emotionally to deal with the trauma in the first place. And we hide behind that macho bullshit that we've got to go and return it. Do you know what I mean? The ego nonsense and throwing the life away. It's nonsense, madness. And I wish I'd have known then what I know now. Do you know what I'm saying?
But we're all here at this point, aren't we?
Where are you at now, Dean, with regards to obviously, because myself and Dean, we were shouting about this from day one, but have you took a back step from?
Yeah, mate, like, I was doing podcasts prior to COVID saying they're going to mandate vaccines and attach it to a passport. And people are going, you're a lunatic.
And he did.
And I was literally saying it will happen in
Before
2020,
it
it'll start then. People are going, how are they going to do it? And I'd say, I don't know.
Have you got any of that video?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on my Instagram
Right,
page.
send me the clips of that and I'll post them up as well. Now and then, innit? You saying then and now.
So I became almost obsessed with vaccines. Literally obsessed with vaccines. I can sit and talk about vaccines now for 2 hours. Different vaccines.
But they're just illnesses. This is what I don't get.
Well, it's quite complex, to be honest. Like, I've got my own theories on them.
So, forgive me for my ignorance, but correct me if I'm wrong, right? A vaccine is to administrate a bacteria into your body so your body can create antibodies to fight it off.
That's the narrative. That's the narrative.
So they effectively have to give you the infection that they don't want you to have.
Well, here's a quick one for you. Yeah,
Is that correct?
It's correct by definition, but let me explain something to you which changes that for me. If I get the attenuated flu virus, so let's say I've got H1N1 here, and I inject it into your arm now, it will have zero effect on you. For it to create an immune response in your body, they would attach a neurotoxin like aluminium hydroxide, aluminium phosphate. Yeah, that now creates the immune response, which is what gets the adaptive immune system to create this big reaction, which can lead to autoimmunity as well. So, listen, the vaccine thing is such a complex topic, and again, right now you've got to be careful what you say because it's so easy to get censored. But like, it would be good to make a couple of points quickly for people listening. Like I say, I'm fully vaccinated apart from the recent, CD19 jabs. People talk about the testing on the COVID jabs like it was rushed. When you realise what was going on with the kids' vaccine schedule, it'll shock you. No childhood vaccines are tested for carcinogenicity, but yet they contain aborted fetal cell lines which are cloned. So I'll give you an example, right? Back in the day we had the polio vaccine, right? I've got a different narrative to what was the causation of those symptoms, but let's say it was a virus, right? They cultured that virus on rhesus monkey kidneys. So when they inject you with the Salk vaccine, you're getting what they call residual monkey DNA in your blood. Now, when they ran out of the rhesus monkeys because they paid for 50,000 of them, they said, oh, that's a waste of money. So they got a woman called Henrietta Lacks. Everything I've just said, Google will just confirm. It's on Wikipedia. No, it's not. This isn't a conspiracy theory. Henrietta Lacks was her name, and she was like 36, and she died of cervical cancer. So they got her cervix and went, it's all right, we'll grow the vaccines and that. Wow. And that they injected that into people. So they've been a very sick and scary thing anyway. And then to see them now transition to what they're calling mRNA vaccines, which is what the current schedule is. I think the Johnson & Johnson's a viral vector vaccine, which is a bit more like the old one. But these current vaccines, this is how they work apparently. In your cell, you've got your nucleus, haven't you? You've got your DNA in there. This is on a very basic level. To create proteins in your body, which are the building blocks of life, your DNA unravels. It's somehow reverse transcribed, right? Goes into the cytoplasm, and then that makes the proteins in a very similar basic level. What this vaccine is claiming to do is to go into your cells, not hijack your nucleus or embed itself into your DNA. That might be possible, I don't know, they're saying it's not, but who really knows? But what it is doing is it's controlling what proteins the cell's making on a cellular level. Now the protein we're making is a spike protein. Now just imagine this for me, right? You can remember a blood vessel from science. It's like a little red thing with a dent in, isn't it? Looks like a rubber dinghy when I only show you on a video. Now that creates a smooth flow through the bloodstream. What would a spiky one do? It would coagulate. Yeah. And what are we seeing? Strokes, blood clots, aneurysms, embolisms. These are all, again, you go and look on the yellow card reporting scheme. So in America there's something called VARS, the Vaccine Advance Reporting System. In the UK it's called the MHRA yellow card scheme. And we're meant to be tracking all these injuries there, but yet health professionals aren't telling people to do it. People at home are getting the jab, something's happened and 3 days later, no, it's not the jab. They don't want to accept that's a possibility. It's not for you to decide. You put on the yellow card scheme and it's for them to weigh it up at the end. But people say, but you can't use that data because it's not verified. Where's the science? Well, if there's no way of checking these injuries, how is there going to be any science? So it's a scary world, and all I want to advise people to do is look at who are the companies behind these vaccines. Moderna. I talk a lot about language. What does Moderna spell? Mode RNA. This company's got literally no trading history. Who are they? They're a bit of they're new on the block pretty much. You've got AstraZeneca, Pfizer paid 2.3 billion for falsifying research data. Johnson & Johnson paid billions for putting asbestos in baby talc powder, not putting it in, knowing it was in there. So we're dealing with convicted felons. The 4 major vaccine manufacturers have paid out 35 billion in the last 10 years for fraud. So you've got convicted felons there, and then you've got people getting censored over here who've got degrees. Bill Gates got no medical degree. Yeah, he's funded ID 2020. I'll make a prediction now. At some point, yeah, because people are going to use fake vaccine passports, they're going to roll something out called a quantum dot tattoo. I talked about this in 2018 publicly, and it's got something in it called luciferase, and essentially what they're going to do is they're going to create a vaccine system where it's not tracked digitally. They can shine a light on you and you have some sort of luminescent glow. That's all documented. Go on Microsoft ID 2020. Why do you think it's called ID 2020? This is how I knew the vaccine agenda starts in 2020. It's in the document name. Yeah, Agenda 21 starts
Can
when?
you tell them
In 2021.
Agenda 201.
Yeah, Event 201. So before all this started, they ran a simulation. This is Johns Hopkins University, Imperial College, all these mega corporations that are receiving funding from the likes of Bill Gates. You know what I mean? And again, if we look at how we got in this mess, look at the Rockefeller Foundation. They started buying up the American Medical Association back in the 1800s. They started rolling out school curriculums. So these people have controlled the source of information, what we see as the truth. They had the Flexner report, which vilified all naturopathy and pushed allopathic medicine. Well, what is allopathic medicine? It's petrochemicals. Who own the petrochemical industry? The same man, or the same entities. So it's just a real good Ponzi scheme. We're just being governed by criminals with a good marketing team, and now we've got this new religion, and the new religion is scientism. And these people say, I don't believe in religion, it was written by man. And then they go, oh, have you seen in this new study here? It says if you hug your aunt, she'll die. Yeah, dude, that's written by a man in a book too. And I'll stop rambling on, right? But there's a guy called John Ioannidis, right? And he's one of the most cited academics in the last decade, right? And he had a study published in Nature not too long ago, I think it was 2015. And that study, the title is something like that: the majority of published research is false. Him, a big team of other scientists, these from Stanford Research Institute, literally a massive team of scientists, they went through a load of published research. It was something ridiculous, like 81% of it was unrepeatable. Well, by definition, science is observable, repeatable, measurable. So we are living in a fake science environment.
I've said that forever.
All of it's blag. We live in a big, massive blag science reality. Science fiction, this is a sci-fi reality.
It is. And do you know what makes me...
How can you trust someone, sorry for butting in, how can you trust the government, the same government last time they were in when I was a kid? They took the milk off us. They took the milk off the kids. Now they want to save us all. Do you get what I mean?
It doesn't add up, does it, mate?
It doesn't add up. A big campaign, if it was really something that bad,
Pictures
like
of the
us to
globe
lose
from
a few
space.
money. Do you know what I mean? They'd be charging you big money.
I think a good way, right, is how I look at it now. I feel like...
Do me a favour.
It's like the world today is Jimmy Savile personified. Yeah. It's like the government and the control grid, the BBC and all these people, they literally harboured him, and he was that bad, he was that bang on, he was that in your face, people couldn't see it, and that is the agenda. We're living in a big horrible version of that, a big dirty psyop where we all have to worship our abusers, and people are loving it. On my
People
way,
can't see through it though.
on my way down here, mate, I saw a mum and dad and
It's a
3
lot
kids
for people
masked
to
up,
take in, man.
walking down the street masked up. We've got
I've
to,
seen a baby mashed up. Must have been one.
we've got to question everything. We've got to unlearn everything, haven't we? We've got to relearn everything. We've got to question it all, man.
It's a mission.
Don't
and
even
that.
go there on that.
It's
On
a-
that
it's
kind
a-
of
You
man.
know what it is, I want to just see
It's
this.
a mission and a half.
Marvin.
No, because I want to see what.
Do you know when at about that Luke Montenegro? Is it?
No, because what is
There's
this?
no
I
Nobel
just
Peace
think.
Prize at the virologist, is it?
Not
Well,
sure.
now watch this, right?
He discovered AIDS and he come out and he said,
Well, Carrie Mullis talks a lot about HIV. So Carrie Mullis is the inventor of the RT-PCR test, reverse transcriptase, polymerase chain reaction test. And
Right, look. So that's the globe from space, right? That's the globe from space, yeah.
Yeah.
we're not on that one today.
But what I'm saying is, so just work with me for a minute. So that's the globe from space, right? So we all, I was led to believe the Earth was round because of that picture, right? But then, as I got a bit older, I started thinking, they're clouds. They're fucking clouds, mate. So if I've got to fly through them clouds, that circle don't exist. The circle doesn't exist, it's not there. Because I've got to penetrate that circle to fly through the clouds to land on the land. So then I started thinking, well, if the circle don't exist, what shape is it?
God knows.
So that's a reflection of our atmosphere, right? That's a reflection of our atmosphere from space. The reason why it's black in the background is because the sun's behind us.
You're not a flat earther, are you, man?
No, but it's not about flat Earth, right? What you got to understand is nothing.
It's just a question, isn't it? What is it? Or the possibilities of it being anything. You've got to be open-minded to everything in life, haven't you?
Right, so
Can I
I
just
don't
run the
think
toilet?
we're a sphere. And I don't think we go round and round and round. And the reason why I don't think that is, you can end, if we was a sphere, you'd be able to enter that planet from anywhere you want. But you can't. You can only leave from one direction, up. So if we was round, you'd be able to leave anyway. But you can't. You can only leave up. Why? You know what I'm saying? So these are things that I know people are programmed to believe about life. You know what I mean? It's like people believe, like you believe that your bloodline isn't black. But you go back 7 grandfathers, there'll be a black man in both of your bloodlines. Fact. Because it's the spectrum of the human being.
Yeah.
If you go back, your grandfather, his grandfather, you all see a black man within 7 grandfathers. Facts.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If you're black, you go back, you go white. Do you know what I mean? Every black family has white in it as well.
Yeah.
The great granddads are white in Jamaica, bro. You go to Jamaica, you see them white as like you lot, and they talk like jumbo. And someone's granddad was black, and you think how? But it's albino, ginger, albino, black, ginger, albino, white, and it's just a spectrum of the human species. And we're not programmed to believe that because they want to conflict everything all the time. So everyone, there's no indigenous people from England. Imagine that. There's no indigenous people from England. And the only reason there is English people here is because the fucking Turks saved them all.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And he was from the Moors. He was blacker than the Ace of Spades, St George. Do you know what I mean? The patron saint of England. But there's loads of things that we're not programmed to believe about Charles I. He was blacker than me. Do you know what I mean? Queen Charlotte, she was darker than me. Do you know what I mean? And people don't ask questions about them sort of things. Like there's things that are out there for everyone to understand, right? And people don't believe that the royal family could be Jamaican.
Yeah.
But they are.
There's not enough people in society.
Man,
They're pushing a lot of the racism and stuff like that on the telly at the minute.
The racism, I believe, is just another tool
To
to
divide.
distract.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
distraction, right?
It's like religion, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? They're pushing it
This
against.
is what I'm saying about negativity, right? So racism is this, right? This is racism. People that don't know, don't know. So this is what I say to people with racism, right? Take your skin off, take my skin off, and ask your mum to see who's who.
Yeah.
Your mum won't be able to pick out who you are if you've got no skin on. Do you know what I'm saying? She won't be able to say that's my son. She might be able to get on you for the eyes. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Feel like with me, I'm about 7 foot.
No, but what I'm saying is, you take the skin off, we're all the same underneath, all the same muscle
If you grew up
structure.
out of society and you didn't know anything about society, you wouldn't know anything about racism.
We are all, but
You
we're
get
all
what I
from
mean?
the same pod, though.
And
This
that's
is the mad
why
thing
they're
about
pushing
humans.
it now to keep us divided, because they're using people's old anger against them
Right, so what we
to
do-
bring up old shit.
So what we do, as
That's
a
why they
people,
were funded at 100
we don't
fucking
talk
million.
about old shit, about new shit,
Yeah.
positive
Yeah,
shit.
that's-
But I'm only
Keep
bringing
that
that
on,
subject up because that's another part of the fucking
Forget
thing.
the subject.
Yeah,
do you know
what
what
are
we
we
do?
going to talk about unity?
What do we
Otherwise,
do?
Yeah.
So what
No,
do we do?
I'm just saying that this
What do we
is
do?
part of
What
the
do we do
agenda
then?
and shit, you know
So
what I mean?
what do we do now? So we're going to set up a couple of events. We'll have a couple of events going on. We'll do some bloody festivals, all that sort of stuff, because I've got the network to do all that sort of stuff. As long as we've got the right concept.
You need to bring the people together.
it's all about common
Right,
unity,
right.
no?
It's about bringing the people together with the right mindset. Right?
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
make it bringing people together and it kicks off and it's
No,
all
I
madness,
understand,
right?
I
So it's
understand.
about bringing people together who have the right mindset. You don't want to bring people together who are angry. You want people
Yeah,
together who are accountable and understanding. Yeah? At the end of the day, you've got to be accountable and understanding for the world we're in. Otherwise, you're going to end up getting in prison and getting nicked. So there's no point. Understanding and accountable. So we understand the situation, we're accountable for our actions. So we do what we do in a positive way to make other people perpetuate after we die. Because we're creating something that they're going to have to live with. So the more noise we make now will create less for them to benefit from. So we focus on the positive
Sometimes
infrastructure
good
of
men have
growth.
to stand up, mate.
So, anything that's going to affect them physically, mentally and emotionally in a positive way, collectively.
Yeah.
And that's what you need to bring. That's what you need to do.
Well, I've got music, football, boxing, media. What have you guys got? I've got roofing and scaffolding. And this is nationwide. Whatever we can put together for training and employment. I've got employment in all of that. Training and employment in all of that. All of it. All up to from amateurs to pros. I've got my Global Football Academy, which is football, which is Watford FC in America, Global Football Academy in Holland, Spain, Portugal, Dubai and London. And we're coming to Liverpool in about 6 months. I've got MTK boxing. I've got Charlie Sloth's network on the music industry. Do you know what I mean?
Charlie Sloth.
Yeah,
Fire in the booth.
Yeah, come on, Charlie.
Yeah,
Charlie,
man, he's
right.
cool, isn't he?
Yeah, he's been around us for years, since he was a baby.
Do you know what I liked? Do you know what I liked the other week? I'd half give up on the protesting because I knew what was going on. I've been through the mill. We all had me running around town getting attacked by police left, right and centre. I've been gassed, I've been beat up. So routine. Do you know what I mean? And I thought, you know what? I've done me bit. I'm not really asked. Is it really doing anything? And I went to London with the lads. And there was over 1.5 million people walking around.
1.5 million people.
And that gave me hope again.
It was
Do you
a
get what I mean?
vibe.
Because I was run down thinking,
Amazing vibe.
How many people knew about that?
Well, they didn't document it.
all the
did they,
ones
on
who
the-
went.
on-
Right on the news, right?
No, no.
Was it?
Yeah.
1.5 million people, and that blew
Oh,
me away.
listen, you've never seen that many people in your whole life.
Never, and you
And
never,
you never will do ever again, mate.
well, you might do at one point,
Wow.
but you know what I mean?
The way it's going, these
Unbelievable.
Don't be
protests.
defeatist. We're going to have a bigger one in the
Yeah,
next few
the
months.
next one's bigger.
No, I'm talking about this movement.
Young man.
To that
Talk about
point.
positivity. Profanities. Young man.
But it was nice to see everyone come together.
And we take that all back to it, mate. Do you know what I mean? Because that's what needs. Because I truly believe that society was supposed to remain without currency. And we all had this unique skills to help each other live how we're all supposed to live. And that's it.
Contributionism, that's called.
Yeah, that's
Fuck
it, yeah.
socialism,
Yeah.
capitalism,
I can do this, you can
or
do
whatever,
that.
whatever it is, and you've got
Take one, leave me
communism.
hanging.
Stick them all up your who.
Leave me hanging.
Sorry, bro. Sorry. Yeah,
I don't
and
like
that's
getting left
just-
hanging.
my brother, yeah. But yeah, contributionism, man. It's like,
Contribution. That's it, that's what it is. If I can build your house, I'll build your house. You can cook me a food, you cook me a food.
there you
No?
go,
Yeah.
what can we
That's
all
what
the
we're all
Mormons
designed
like-
for.
like the
And then
Mormons
some
like that,
divvy
but-
little mug comes and said, oh, I'll tell you what, come here.
Well,
Want a
one-
bit of that? Have a bit of that, don't give him that.
One of the biggest paradigms that I think's been inflicted on the human population is that we're successful through competition. That is false. We are successful through collaboration.
Collaboration.
We are like ants before we are like like a solitary predator. They survive through competition.
Collaboration is key.
Collaboration is what the
Collaboration.
is what it's what the human essence is. We only work in communities.
Stronger together.
Yeah, yeah.
Show me an ant who's got his own, who can function on his own. He can't. He's part of a wider network. And the system, the control grid, has done really well at manufacturing a society who's disconnected from his neighbour. If there's food shortages next week, it's not my neighbours who I'll be saying, right, what have we got between us? It's this kind of community, but they want to disconnect that. You know, mate, on the news in Australia, they've had a sort of Matt Hancock type character come on the telly today and say, listen, I know it's human nature to talk and smile and laugh and engage with people, but you must not do that. They're literally that's what she said. They're literally telling you, stop being a human. Stop being human. You're not human anymore. It's not safe to be human. So we've got to win that back. Like
it's
my
coming.
guy keeps saying.
It's coming. Because the more we strategically align with the right people doing the right things, the quicker we can get the job done. And that's what it's all about. Getting the right people in the right places, doing the right things with the right message.
Yeah.
And
With the right intention.
With the right strategic alliances and the right amalgamations, it seems like things moving forward steadily in a nice way.
And organically.
And it is really organic.
And people need to open their eyes and see what's going on.
4 different planets, but we've all got the same sort of common goal.
Do you know the other day when that Matt Hancock was feeling that bird's ass, and as soon as I seen it, you knew it was fake, you know what I mean? As soon as I seen that, I couldn't look at it, and these are 60,000 fucking memes or whatever you fucking call them all over the internet, right?
Do you know what I'd
So
rather
about a day or two later, right, I found out, it's not about being on the news. Fucking, what's his name? Mark something, is it? He runs the Bank of England. He printed 500 billion off, mate. They lowered your money by 25%, inflation went through the roof. Do you get what I mean? So £10 now worth £7.50, and everyone was looking at him feeling the arse. Do you get what I mean? While they're doing that, they're doing something else.
It's the pantomime.
Do you get what I mean? So wake the fuck up. You get me? And this is what's happening all the time, Marv. Do you know what I mean? We can see it a mile away because it's a graft. Yeah. We know about fucking shit like that. Do you know what I mean?
We need to get in that competitive lane so we can compete.
We need to fucking break away from it.
We need to, do you know what a good word is for this shit, mate? Accountability.
Yeah.
And you said it before about food, yeah? Who are the people dying of COVID? The average age is 82 at one point. It was 84, I think, at one point. So we already know they're already on the way out, which makes me think they are just piggybacking the numbers. But anyway, they're saying the highest risk factor group is obesity, right? Obesity. So you've got people now going, you need to get a jab to protect me, I'm at risk. Well, stop going to Mackey's then, and you won't be at risk. Your health is not my problem. And this is why infectious diseases, which a lot of them are fictional in my belief system now. That's my belief system. Propaganda.
Yeah, of course.
They basically take sick. They create a toxic environment, right? And then people get sick and they go, oh, it's this microscopic virus. That's like literally saying that the flies bring the garbage. No, the flies bring the garbage. And what it's allowed them...
I'll never walk again. So.
Well, that's the medical system. But what it's allowed them to do, mate, is allowed them to use this narrative that they're protecting people. And that's why the infectious disease narrative is massively important to them. I'm not saying we can't pass on things to each other, but there's certainly been some big fucking, I'm going to use the word hoaxes. Not just this one, this isn't the first one.
It's been here from the beginning of the time, and it's just part of the control mechanism. So we stick together, stay focused on positive change, positive influence,
take
positive mindset. And that's it, to be accountable for the mistakes we made, and just keep it moving with positivity. So I'm all up for amalgamating with people that want to do positive things rather than talk about positive things.
Let's go,
just like Marvin. And do you know what, Marvin? Stage me hands right, because the only podcaster that steps up and let the likes of us near you.
Come on now, so
you know what I mean? He's got a proper platform with me.
It's a voice for everyone.
He's right, Marvin, because it took balls to do that as well.
No, but it's just, I don't think...
Have you heard anyone talk about this subject? Where are all the fucking singers in the world? No one talking about anything. Where are they?
Where's
all the actors and all the fake celebrities? Everyone kisses their ass. No one's mentioned nothing about even how shit their lives are or nothing. Do you know what I mean?
Because they're all gagged from doing it.
They're all gagged.
And obviously they all work for them.
Fully gagged, mate.
Here are all these people.
If you're one of the architects,
how many people are losing their business? How many people are fucking on their ass?
You're not allowed to talk about anything.
No, it serves them anyway. Yeah. They're the architects of this reality. Why would they be asked? It serves them. They're the architects of this mess. Yeah. So are we if we don't
let it happen.
That's why the fake tan. Why has everyone fell for that fake tan? Why?
The orange gear.
That's just so we go underground.
It stinks like.
He said to me, why all the beans orange?
She's alright. Everybody used to be orange and yellow, mate. So when you go underground, you get no UV proper. You get no proper suntans in 50 years' time. Unless you're the elite.
We'll be the fucking...
We'd be getting tanned up, bro.
My daughters are going to be the elite. Watch, my daughters and their kids. And all of our daughters and their kids. And all your kids and their kids, mate. Because if you're jumping on my bandwagon, mate, then we're going to succeed. We are going to change the narrative in the direction of bloodlines, mate. And that is all I'm destined to do. So in 1,000 years' time, people are going to be saying, do you know where this all started?
Marvin.
Nothing but the truth.
For what?
No, but it's true though, isn't it? Someone said to me, I was having a conversation with a journalist today, and he said, what does the actual for what? What does it mean? I said, what do you mean, what does it mean? He said, don't listen to the things I say. He said, well, yeah. I said, well, think of it like this. You risk your liberty every single day of your life for a price you can't put your finger on, because you can never determine how much money you're going to make from one day to the next, right? But you're prepared to stab, shoot and kill for that money and go to prison forever, right? When you amalgamate all them attributes together, you've got to ask yourself, for what are you doing all that for? Because it took me getting shot 5 times at 42 years of age to ask myself that question. And when I asked myself that question, I thought, for a load of
It gives you the wake-up call, doesn't it?
weak, shallow, no good people,
Yeah.
why am I doing it? Forget them. I'm going positive, and I just went on a positive journey.
Just like that.
You know what I mean? And I won't do nothing negative no more. I have a couple of negative conversations. I've been attacked a few times, but I won't react in a negative way that's going to end up...
They're only strap-ons after
I might lose me rag and scream and shout, but I'm never going to beat anybody up. I'm never going to stab or shoot anybody. I'm never going to go back to prison. And I can say that because I'd rather get punched up and embarrassed before I go back to prison.
Well, that's a bigger man. Do you know how hard it is to be peaceful?
When
you can be very violent, it's hard to be peaceful. To be peaceful men is hard. We can all be violent. We're all tough.
You say that, but now I find it a lot easier.
Yeah, but
I just look at people, I just think...
But it's the bigger man to be peaceful, isn't it?
Yeah,
do you get what I mean?
Of
course it is.
Do you know why though? Because it's
Because you can be violent.
No, it's not about can be violent, it's about knowing who you are.
Yeah.
So I know who I am now. As a kid I was violent because I had to fit in. I had to be someone. I had to be noticed. I had to be recognised. Now I just think...
That's what drove me to MMA, that design.
You ain't worth it, mate. You ain't worth it. So now, and you say what you like, and I just think, you know what?
You're actually saving your own life.
I'm not going to blow your head off, mate.
No.
I'm not going to stab the
And who's going to feed your kids while you're in the
Have
job?
a good night, mate.
You know what I mean? Who's going to come down to give you anything?
Black cunt and say, yeah, no. Do you know what? I never knew that this morning when I woke up. Good observation. And then, fucking nigger! I said, wow. Do you know what? I didn't realise you had A-level, son. Black cunt nigger. Wow. I never even knew that. Hey! He reckons I'm a nigger. Fucking sensible, you. Come on then. What? Come on then, what, mate? Go and do yourself, mate.
Yeah, it is.
And I laugh at it now. I sort of really laugh at it now.
You've evolved, haven't you?
Yeah, because it's just, I'm not here to prove
not run on
that
your
I can
emotions.
go to prison or I can kill people. I'm not here to prove that. I'm not going to bother with that. To what? Sit in prison forever?
Yeah.
Just so I'll say, yeah, 3, 4, yeah, see what
No one gives a fuck about it.
The things you attach your energy to can be far more beneficial going in other directions.
Yeah, positive directions.
Yeah,
I'm more selfless now than anything. So I like to do lots of things for people. That's how I met Mark, being selfless. Do you know what I'm saying? Going to help the kids out. Do you know what I'm saying? That's how I met Mark. Do you know what I mean? And we've got a selfless relationship. There's nothing else. And I don't know him from anything else but that. A couple of people we know from the boxing world. Do you know what I mean?
And that's how I met Mark when I was going around the city doing the litter picking on every postcode.
It's all meant to be. Strategically like it. Now you've got to focus on your diet, son. That's your only thing. You've got to focus on that.
You'll have to get that in.
You'll
have to get it in, didn't you?
Publicly as well.
Yeah. First 3 lessons of diet.
We'll be back in the gym, me and you.
Yeah.
Exactly, that's
So the diet they want you to eat is the diet you don't eat.
Yeah, exactly.
The diet they've got you looking at on the telly. Yeah. Oh, it's good for you. Look at this. See, 5 a day, 5 a week. It's good for you. Ski, yogurt, yeah, sugar, yeah, chocolate, yeah, everything you're eating, but it's killing you quicker than natural causes. So I'm not into all that brainwashed food stuff. I don't eat what I like. I eat what I need. And now I eat what I need, my body likes what I need.
How long have you been eating healthy?
Realistically, after I got shot, so 2008 I started like next level. Like I'm actually going to say it publicly, right? Because everybody that knows Spain, Marbella, Figueroa and the Res and all around there will tell you, right? Green tea before 2008 was not popular. Was not popular. 2008, it just went through the roof because everywhere I went, I had to buy green tea. I was just mad for green tea and all this alkaline stuff. We all got on the alkaline in 2009, 2010 in Spain through Daniel Kinahan, as it happens. His niece had an incurable disease, Alexander's disease. So we was looking at health things and that's how I became aware of this super diet.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, and then obviously through the training, and then I got shot, and then boom, the alkaline got me better. I started researching food. I started realising that 98% of the food I ate causes carcinogenics in my system that causes cancer, that kills me. I mean, all the sugar I'm eating is killing my brain cells from working at optimum levels, making me angry, anxious. So I thought, wow, let me just stop taking all that. So I started eating agave syrup, drinking juices, do you know what I'm saying? So not really eating, fasting, and just seeing how long I can go throughout the day without eating. And it's just sort of intermittent fasting, eating healthy stuff, drinking Kangen water 9.5, and just not putting anything into my body that was a toxin. And then I'd have
So what you see now as a cheat meal, or what if you want to
well, no, see, yeah, Kit Kat, like, I'll own up with that, right? I've had a couple of, like, hey, what did I say? Yeah, what did I say this week? I've been cheating. What did I say I was cheating at? Right, I've had a couple of Kit Kats, right? peanut butter Kit Kats, right? But I have a cheat, right? I've had, right, this year I've had a shank of lamb and maybe 3 or 4 chickens. Do you know what I mean? And that's not me, that's just 3 or 4 chicken dinners I've cooked with the family and kids.
Yeah.
I've had a little bit. So I do like stuff. Do you know what I mean? I'm not eating it because I don't like it. I'm eating it because it's not beneficial for my development moving forward.
Yeah.
So I don't eat it on health purposes. You know what I mean? But
so you're disciplined, aren't you?
I'm disciplined to eat the best food for my system to be the best vehicle it can be.
And that's what everyone needs
And I
to
am
start
physically, mentally, the best version I can be, I believe. And I don't believe there's many athletes that wouldn't admire my tenacity in the ring, in the gym, on the platform. Because mate, I am, and I'm not embarrassed to say it, I'm next level training. And I'll say it, that you will regret starting training.
You've got a good engine, haven't you, lads?
I'm telling you, like, I'll
He's
blow all
aggressive
the
as
pros
well.
out of the water. All the pros out of the water come training with me, I'll blow them out of the water, bro. Yeah, blow them out of the water. And they'll all slowly, can we...
There's a little move around, don't we, Mark?
So I do high intensity, right? My heart rate, right now, I don't care if people believe it or not, Matthew Macklin and MGM are witnesses to this. I had a heart rate monitor on, and they all said it was broken because it went up to 230 beats per minute. They said it's impossible. I said, it's not impossible. I'm used to shock, bro. I'm telling you. And then I got shot a couple of weeks later and survived. Then everyone's like, wow, fuck. Because I should have died because of the shock. Do you know what I'm saying? And they said, no, because my body's so used to going up high intensity. So I'll give you a little sneak preview now so you can get used to it, right? So you've got to do 135 exercises. So you use a power clean front squat, a power clean front press, a power clean front squat and press, and then a high pull. 15-second breather, you do it again. You do 5 times 5, accumulating the weight 5 times. But that's after 10 300-meter sprints on a rowing machine, all under 1 minute, minute on, minute off, right? Once you finish the power cleans, you've got a power clean to your maximum, yeah? And then once you can't power clean no more, you've got a deadlift to your maximum. Do you know what I mean? And then you've got to do maximum 50, 40, 30 on any muscle part. So you do 50 reps, 40 reps, 30 reps, 20 reps, 10 reps, 8 reps, 6, 4, 2, finish. And I can get up to 200 kilo bench press, shoulder press and squat on every muscle part. I've done that just before COVID. I was doing it, and then obviously COVID hit and I never went to the gym, so I've gone back down a bit. So I can bench press. I reckon I'll get down there and bench press without warming up 100 kilos for 10 times. Prior to this, I was doing 100 kilos for 25, 30 reps. Do you know what I mean? So I work on density, like high intensity, density. So we do lots and lots of reps. I don't get massive, but like I'm fucking solid all over. Like you can't penetrate my core, my muscle, my ribs and all that sort of shit. I'm tough like that. I mean, you can run up and kick me, and you break your metatarsals before you break my stomach or my rib. I mean, and I've proven I do it weekly, monthly. I challenge people, say you can't do that, and they try it.
That's why I just
So that's
Have you been down to Dean's gym?
No.
Need to get into Dean's gym, go and have a little roll in
Where's
there.
the gym?
It's a quality gym, you know.
There you go, we'll get
Some
down.
cracking fighters in there.
Mainly Brazilian
come
Jiu-Jitsu
in,
and
man,
MMA.
we got some good
No,
pros in there as
seriously,
well.
I like doing circuits with people, so I'll come down here if you do a circuit with me.
I'll have a go.
Yeah, 6. And it's not mad weights, you do Olympic bar, 10 kilos.
That's like a bit, I'm all for the madness, but as long as there's some method in there, do you know what I mean?
No, it's just functional working. So you work as a functional unit. We don't work on one muscle part, so one muscle part gets strong, then you're going to create injuries. So it's about working as a functional unit of harmony with every muscle structure and working every muscle to its potential rather than your mental potential. Like people just want a big chest, big shoulders, so they work on that muscle part where all my muscles are the same all over, same power. Do you know what I mean? And I can lift the same with my arms. I can lift. I can curl 100 kilo. Right? 220s. I can curl that on an Olympic bar. Boom. Do you know what I mean? When I'm fit and ready. And I'll do it. And anyone in the boxing world that knows me will tell you that. I'll sit and train. I'll do the circuit with all the pros, and I push them hard, like, and to the point where they move the injuries. Oh, I can't, or getting always injuries.
Come down the
Right?
gym, lad, we'll see what you're up to.
I'm telling you, you'll see.
I'll have to see it. I'll have to see it in action.
Yeah, it's all good games, only.
No, mate,
Everyone
you've
does,
been
man,
gym.
so it's
You've been
like-
gym. You never, you had a little move about.
Yeah.
Little move about.
Marvin thought I couldn't box, didn't you?
No, I never thought you couldn't box. I didn't even have to get. You couldn't
He
knock
looked at
box
the
with a
tits
mouth
and the
like
belly.
that. Do you know what I mean? The beautiful thing about me is this, right? I know my range and I know my ability. And I know unless you are a world champion, you're not doing shit to me. You might punch me a few times, not a problem. But you ain't getting me out of there and you ain't damaging me. It ain't going to happen.
He's there.
Because I am that good. I know I'm that good.
Yeah,
if you're that good, then you're that good.
He's
You know what I mean? So, I
he's
know.
full of game, aren't you? He's just
Yeah,
fucking
just
forward, you know what I mean?
Yeah, even your mate give me a black eye.
Yeah, he battered you, didn't he, John?
Gilly?
Gillies, is it?
Yeah.
He's an hard case, though.
Yeah.
No, mate, so
That's
all it was just a competitive spar. Do you know what I mean?
When was this?
I was just challenged. I was
When was that?
testing his stamina. So
He's a unit as well, do you know what I
and
mean?
he's an
Listen,
athlete,
you got
right?
nothing to worry
He's
about
an athlete.
there, lads. John's an hard case.
This is my purpose, right? So when we get out of the ring, he says to himself, "Fucking hell, that's it." So I know he got out of that ring and said to himself, "Fucking hell, I'm glad he wasn't fit." Do you understand? Because if I was fit, when I do sparring fit, he was like, "Thank for that. Thank God I never took a liberty." Do you know what I mean? Because I weren't fit and I smoked. And I was smoking then, do you know what I'm saying? So I train when I'm unhealthy and I got in the ring, because I was unhealthy and I've been in the gym, I said, "Oh, you're fit." He was like, "Yeah," so let me see how. Let me do a few rounds with you. I mean, I think I've done 4 rounds with him, did I? 3 or 4 rounds.
First time's about 5 minutes, though. He's done well, Marv.
No, it's not bad. It's
Listen,
not
you
bad.
got to remember, you're about, how old are you? You're about
I'm
49,
50.
aren't you? 50?
I'm 50 with one
You're a
eye.
tough man.
Do you know what I'm saying, John?
You're a tough
And
man.
You're a tough man.
The only reason,
It's
well,
tough.
not the only reason, but
Not just not as
he
tough.
manipulated my blind side. He peppered me with left hooks.
That's
all he
above
done.
the eye, didn't he?
Boom, boom, boom.
That's a good tackle, it
So what I'm saying-
I'll play it.
so in my head, yeah, he had to do that. Right? So I'm that good to keep him on his toes that he had to do that. He couldn't play with me. Do you understand? So in my head, I'm still that guy because an athlete in his game, at his level, yeah, had to manipulate my blind side. I couldn't just have a little fun and games. He had to. And he manipulated because he let him go, didn't he? He did, he loaded the cut of him, but you know, he's like, "Yeah, come on, fuck.
Now, I've got to give it to you, lad. Your
Good,
game
good.
is full.
Good,
Your
good,
game
good,
is
good.
full.
I'm good, and I'm just telling in my head, I'm just thinking, I can't wait to get fit. Can't wait to get fit. It's going to be sick when we're fit. Do you know what I mean? Because it's all about that. With me, it's ego when I'm in the ring.
Yeah.
Do
You
you
know,
know
when you
it's all
phoned
ego.
me, you said, "Hey, Mark, do you want a spar?" I just done legs with this Darren Smith. He's blew 7 people's legs up. I couldn't move my legs. But my ego kicked in. I thought, "You fucking cunt. Who you saying
No,
gets
but you
down
are,
the
no, you're good though, yeah?
So I had to
But
get down the
it's
gym.
just lazy. That's all it is. You're good, but you're lazy. That's the reality.
I do enough. I do
No,
it
you
all.
don't.
Nah, I don't normally box, I just flatten people.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? If you get, if you,
it's not
30
bad.
seconds, you're getting knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, but we know that,
You know what I mean?
it's about you being a vehicle for the rest of
Yeah,
your
yeah,
life.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's not about the fighting or being that guy, it's about you being, like, I want to know when I'm 70 years of age, I can still have a run in the back.
I've had to get off the couch because of this COVID shit.
Yeah, I don't want to be fucking 70 years of age. I want to be like, whoa, what's happening? You want to go down the gym? And there was an old boy called Seb in Marbella. 78 years of age. He used to come gym and do 100 key reps and all that. I thought, well, I want to be just like that. Do you know what I mean? But now I know I want to be slightly better because he wasn't as fit as I was. And I know I'll be a little bit umpier than he was. You know what I'm saying? I always look, I'm going to be better than that. I always put the marks in. But
So where do we see the future after with this? And what can we tell the people? What do you think, Mark?
I think we covered that, mate. It's about collective unity, coming together, raising the consciousness, setting an example to the younger generation. You know, make sure the youngsters who are coming up now, they don't go down the road that we went down, but they've also got a better understanding about life, about healthy living, mindfulness, you know, practicing maintaining the mental strength, because you know a lot of this stuff now in society that comes through the phones, that comes through the tellies, that comes through the radios, what we're aware of now, which we call brainwashing, they're unaware of it. Parents are still throwing
brainwashing, aka education.
Yeah.
Indoctrination.
You've still got like parents throwing kids on the couch and giving them an iPad because it's the easiest thing for them to do.
It's all that, man.
You know, you need to try and give the parents some more sort of focus. I don't like my kids sitting on the phones all the time. It drives me insane. I shout at my kids, but then it's hard because my kids then think I'm a crank. And I'm like, I'm not being a crank just to like knock at you. It's sunny outside. Get out, go and play. When I was your age, I was never in the house. Pissing down rain, mate. Shorts, t-shirt. I'd come home, drenched, filthy, full of mud. Been doing all madness, having an absolute ball, you know what I mean?
Building an immune system.
Being a kid.
And now it's just like, boom.
Taking away the childhood.
Yeah, it's gone, mate.
Taking away the childhood, mate. No more camps, no more bonfires.
We do loads of that, mate. Yeah. We do all that.
I just want to say to people, listen, you aren't on your own in this world, so if you think it's alright, come and find the likes of us. We're not far, we're not hard to find. You know their platforms. Come down, speak. We're not on our own here. We're not in this situation. Sometimes you feel like you're on your own, but you're not.
Yeah. Crosby Beach, mate. You know, it's a beautiful little beach down there as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's lovely, mate. I had 500 people there last week.
I would have been there this week, but they shut
I reckon it would have been about
1,000
there, lads.
Yeah, I reckon it's going up every week. It's going up. The numbers are getting big, but it's all good, mate. And people are reaching out now, week in, week out, messaging me going, like, this is getting them through their week. This is the highlight of their week. And there's people who are turning up to these crowds who suffer from anxiety, who wouldn't go to the likes of a sports hall or a venue, you know, and be comfortable walking into that environment. But the fact that we're out in nature and we're practicing meditation and we're doing healing practices and breath work, and everyone there's so humble and nice, you know, these are walking into these big crowds of people and just being welcomed. When people come to these events, right, I always say to them, because they'll reach out and go, I'm on my own, I suffer from anxiety, I'll go, look, when you get there, come and see me straight away. So you'll come over and I'll go, Marvin, this is Mark, this is Marvin, it's his first time here, he's on his own, boom, you're not on your own then, never again, mate.
Yeah.
And I tell everyone every week, if you're ever suffering, reach out, because we're here, you know what I mean?
And everyone's
So
got a story.
everybody as well, I come into contact with man, just talk, man, just let it out. Because that's what saved me, Brian. I always found people to vent or ask opinion or advice or counsel. So I've always had people that I can go to and say, I've done this, I've done that, what can I do? And they used to give me the advice and I took it on board, you know. Like you always need to let that stuff out mentally, verbally and physically.
And this is why when COVID kicked off and they were like trying to force people to stay indoors, and they were saying you can only go out once a day for exercise and all this bullshit. Well,
can I cut you there?
Go on.
Because I'd like you to explain that 9 life thing you explained earlier.
What was that, sorry?
About the
Basic needs.
Basic needs, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
So
We'll
basically,
close on it.
Go on.
We'll close on. We'll close up
Go
on the
close
basic
on
needs.
teams.
I don't, the basic needs of the human.
well, yeah, I want to.
Because I heard something from Dean earlier, yeah, and the way he described it made so much sense. So we're going to close up with
Choice theory.
choice.
That's what it's called.
Choice theory. Now just listen to this and make
Okay.
sense.
So basically, just on the back of what Mark said, what Mark's talking about here is a lot of the inner worlds. And for me, one of the solutions is the outer world and controlling our local resources. And it all ties into these 5 needs. There's something called the Hermetic Principles, which the global elite run by. And as above, so below. And you know, we look at this now. If you look at any individual human being, in choice theory, there's 4 parts. Right, the first 2 parts is your basic needs and your quality worlds. Well, your basic needs, and the most important one, is actually love and belonging. Because humans aren't meant to survive, we're meant to thrive. There's a big difference in surviving and thriving. This new paradigm is about, oh, you'll survive in your house depressed, but you'll be alive, you won't be dead. But anyway, we've got love and belonging, fun and enjoyment, self-power, self-worth, freedom and survival and health. Okay? So them 5 basic needs, we imagine them like glasses. We should be topping them up every day. But these restrictions infringe on them all. Now, how we meet those 5 basic human needs is through our quality world. And our quality world is comprised of our 4 Ps. And this is a great mentoring tool. This. And that's your people, your places, your pastimes and your possessions. So let's just apply it to a gang. If you're a young man in a gang, does the gang give you a sense of love and belonging? Yeah, that's why gangs are what they are. Does it create fun and enjoyment? It's probably a bit of fun when you're young in a gang. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Does it make you feel powerful? Right, it does. Yeah. Very powerful. Does it give you survival? Yeah, man. If some kids, it keeps them alive. Yeah, it's putting food on the table. So it's important to understand that even a young person in a gang might be getting their needs met. And it's important you don't pull them from that gang at that moment.
I'd say that the young people are getting all their needs now. That's why they're there, isn't it?
And that's why we, people like ourselves, need to provide an alternative to them, an alternative paradigm. Now there's 2 more parts of choice theory I never mentioned before, and the next 2 is the human perception and total behaviour model. Now I want you to imagine this mobile phone's a car, and that's your behaviour. There's only 4 types of behaviour that we exhibit. It's thoughts and actions, which are the front 2, because they're what steer the car, and the next 2 is physiology and feelings. So if we imagine you getting angry, what's your thoughts? You might want to punch someone. What are your actions? Might be violence. Well, when you're angry, what's your physiology? You might get a red face. You have feelings of anger. So that's just a way to sort of summarise it. So the next part is called perception model, and this links into everything we've said today. Information goes into your 5 senses, right? Goes into your brain, and in there you have your total body of knowledge filter. That's why these people want to control what we believe to be true, because when we take information, propaganda through the media, through education, whatever it is, we then put a value on it. So some people might say, oh, lockdowns are great. Well, that's because their total body of knowledge is different to ours. Yeah. So when you put all 4 of them together, you have a complete model of human behaviour. Everything humans do can be explained within that model. It's not telling me something outside of it, unless someone's clinically insane. Because every human action has a motivation. There's always a motivator. What's the first thing a detective thinks when he turns up to a crime scene? What's the motive for this murder? Obviously they look at the physical, but after that it's motive. Yeah. So I'll just recap that there quick. Your 5 daily needs must be topped every day. Love and belonging. What are you a part of? What community are you a part of? That's why they're saying, don't say hello to your neighbour. Yeah, they want to get rid of that sensation. They want to make, whilst you've got celebrities on TV and the elites at the Royal Ascot and football players hugging each other, you've got kids in rings wearing a mask. Do you know what I'm saying? So they're attacking our love and belonging. They're ruining our fun and enjoyment. They're completely destroying our self-power and our self-worth by removing us from our daily routines. They're killing our survival and health with all this. It's all toxic health. And then freedom.
Where is it?
But where's that gone? So you look at them 5 daily needs. It's completely destroying them. And then you look at the quality worlds. If you create a lockdown, right, there's kids at my gym, what's their quality worlds? Well, obviously they've got the family, which they can still see, and they've still got the possessions. But how are they engaging with the people that they want to see, or partaking in the pastimes that are important to their development? The only thing the governments are infringing on right now is your possessions, and that's in the agenda. They're coming for that. As they're telling you in the World Economic Forum, you will own nothing, you'll have no privacy, and you'll be happy about it. I won't be happy about it. So, Yeah, I think that's a great point to finish on. Sorry I ran through that dead fast, but there's a guy called William Glasser. He's a doctor who's put that together, and I think people should apply that to your own life. Where are you meeting the needs? And if you're not meeting some of their needs, then this is what this guy's doing here. He's helping people meet their needs. So we look at what Mark's doing. He's looking after people's love and belonging, the self-power, self-worth, and the fun and enjoyment. Well, what I'm trying to mobilise on now is the other two. I'm thinking about the outer, he's working on the inner. I'm trying to get people to come together to take back control of water, food, yeah, arts and culture. We bake the bread, we make the roads, we do everything. The government don't do nothing, we do it all. So
I've been saying this for the last couple of months, we've got to come together as a people.
We're the slaves.
We've got to come together. We've got to come together in two ways. We've got to come together in our humanness, in our human nature. We've got to connect. Yeah. We've got to build relationships. And we've also got to take back control of our resources, because that is what sovereignty is based on. You cannot be a sovereign man if the government can turn the water off tomorrow. If they can say, oh, all the lorry drivers and that, you got COVID now, you can't have any food. Oh no! So, you know, until we can put ourselves in a position where we've took back control of local farming, because you're talking about the vegan diet, man. If we knew what was sprayed on our food, we wouldn't eat it. If we had to kill the chickens, we wouldn't eat it. So again, if people were growing their own food, which we need to start doing, then we'd eat the diet you're talking about, because that's naturally what we're aligned to as humans.
That's what we've all got to do.
Yeah, self-sufficient.
So stop buying shit from the supermarket and grow it yourself.
That's a project we need to start.
Well, it is. And
I've been thinking about it. Everyone needs to learn. I've
spent 10 years being very angry about these agendas. I've banged the pot and pan and said, they're going to vaccinate every man and his dog. And everyone laughed at me, and then they're in the news saying, oh no, we want to come after your cat and your dog, yeah? But what we need to do now, and what I've realised only recently, is, no, forget about them. Where's your accountability? Stop crying about people in power, because the more we cry about the people in power, we're giving energy to that system. Oh, let's vote in another politician. It's just a conveyor belt. Fuck them off. Don't engage with them.
We are our own power.
Take back control in small groups. Align yourself with 100 people, 150 people. Pool your wealth. Start putting money in. Like,
doing it. We're doing it. I'm doing it right now.
Start setting up charities with all the local people in your community as trustees. Put money in there all years. Put 20 quid in a week. Yeah, it'll be a few months. You'll have 20 grand in the bank. Yeah. Sound. Buy a plot of land. Pay someone to manage food for you. You'll save a fortune. You won't have to eat pesticides like Roundup and glyphosate, and you won't have to eat shit processed food. It'll all be there for you. You'll be able to have some common interest with your local community again, which is what creates community.
It's coming anyway. I'm on it.
It's sink. What I've realised now, guys, it's sink or swim. You can crash against the wave. This agenda is a wave and it's coming. Yeah. So you can do what I've done most of the time and fight against it, but it's too big. It's too well funded. Or you can float on it. Yeah. You can catch a ride on it. What I should have done, instead of telling everyone about they're going to try and vaccinate you, I should have started selling masks. Instead, just said, leave them to it. If you want a mask, have a mask. Yep. Go ahead and make some money off the back of your stupidity, your ignorance.
I knew about that before it. I was going to bring masks up in a couple of months. But they're ordered 1 million from China. You can't do it because you can't fucking do it.
The people who are aware now, stop using your awareness and arguing with everybody else, trying to make them see it from your point of view. Just go and be the change.
Yeah, be the change.
Just go and be the change. Go and be who you want to see in the world.
Therefore. 100%.
So that's another informative episode of Nothing But the Truth with Marvin Herbert and guest.
Marvin.
And there will be another few of these coming out in the near future, ranging on other subjects that are dear to our humanistic hearts, needs and wants as a harmonistic, perpetuating species.
And fuck the elites.
Now listen, we've got to become the elites to make change that we want, you know, and this is what I'm doing. I'm adopting the mindsets, principles and the strategies that the elites have used for thousands of years, and I'm programming my youngsters to follow suit. Stay tuned. Nothing but the truth.
It's like, man.
But the truth.
It's like marvellous.
Thank you.
Do you like it, Marv?
Right,
Is it
so
good?
give the camera all your socials. Where your socials
So-
are for following and all that.
I'm currently shadow banned, so you'd have to put my exact name in, but it's DG_. And again, I'll be talking more about how to get involved with this community project if you're interested.
You'll find, I've got 2 profiles. The first one is On a Mission MC, which is also shadow banned at the minute. I'm not sure how long the band's going to be on for, but I'm in about a month I think of being on for now. And my second one is my non-alcoholic healing brand, which is focused on yoga, meditation, consciousness, community activities, and that is Awakened Souls events. So add me and follow me and come and get involved, people.
Mine's Mark_Como, CU_M. You find me on Instagram.
Right boys, pleasure.
Text me.
Love yous and leave yous. Nice one.